So, okay, good morning. So, we are discussing the packages. So, what do you mean by package? So, a package is nothing but it's a collection of classes. So, what exactly package consists of? Package consists of classes. The class consists of class members. So, that means the class members may be the methods. So, simply the package consists of collection of related classes as well as interfaces. So, it may be an interface. So, we have two types of packages. First one is predefined package. Second one is user defined package. So predefined packages means initially Java library has nearly latest version has nearly 200 packages. That means so each package consists of collection of predefined classes and predefined interfaces and predefined methods. So each package, generally in general, you'll use some methods. So that methods are defined in a package, defined in a class. So the class is defined in a package. That means for day-to-day purpose, we will use the some methods regularly. So that methods or classes are included in the package, predefined package. So Java developers has kept the classes uh, in a package like the, for example, util package, IO package, and then we have the language package, lang. We have javax package, java package, java fx package. Like that we have so many packages. That means the package means it represent it, it contains the collection of classes. So we can we can create our own packages also. So in the last session we have seen the creation of our own packages. So this is very important. So whenever we require a package, we will create. So how do you create a package? How do you create a package? Okay, the package is created by the syntax package space package name. Package is a keyword and package name, package space package name. So in that package, that is the first statement in the package. The package consists of the classes. The package consists of some code, some file, some class file. So we have to create the code for it. So the code starts with the package name, semicolon. So like this. So first step in creation of our own package is, first we have to create the folder. That means we have to create the directory. So this is the directory. For example, in yesterday's class, we have seen that calculator package name is calculator. So we have to keep the package name as directory name, folder name. The folder name is calculator. So this is the package name. So first we have to create the directory for the package. That means folder. So I have created the folder. And then here I have to create the class. I have to create the Java file. So here I am creating the Java file. So this is the Java file I have created. So in this Java file, I have to mention this statement, package space package name. Package name is calculator. It means that the compiler can understand that. So this is the package. This is not a regular file. So this is the package. So the user is going to creating a package. So this statement should be the starting of the any package. So this is the syntax for creation of the package. And then, so the package consists of classes. So I am creating the class name. So the class consists of class members. So these are the class members. So here methods. So I have created the so many methods: add, sub, mul, division, modulation. Like that I have created so many methods here. So here the package has only single class, calc. The class name is calc. So there are so many methods: add, sub, division, multiplication. modulus, like that we have so many functions. So here if you create a package, you have to mention the access specifier also. So yesterday we got the problem. So we have not yet declared as public. That means we have left like this only. That means default access specifier. We don't give any access specifier here. That means public or private or protected. We have not given anything. That means we are creating the another package. So the contents of this package is accessed by the other package content. That means we should permit the other packages to access our package. That means we need to give the access permission. That means we have to mention it as public. So our methods also public, so that the other classes in other packages can also access this methods and class. That's why we have to give the public. So here only we don't have public static void main. That means a driver class. The package doesn't consist of driver class. Public static void main I have not used it here. Just I have created a class. In that class, I am mentioning the some methods. So this is my package. So this is my package. So after creation of the package, we have to compile that package. After creation of that package, we have to compile that package. That means before that we have to check the path. So here the path is at Java. Path is at Java, but I have created the folder cd space. The folder is calculator. So now the cursor is at calculator. The directory is at calculator. So in that, the package consists of. The package is at calculator folder, not Java folder. In the Java folder, I have created another folder, calculator. So in that, I have to first compile the package. The package name is, class name is calc.java. Calc.java. So after that we have to execute the main program, application program. So application program is calc main. So calc main is at Java folder. So here calc main. So this is the calc main. So this is the calc main. Here I am importing that package. The package name is calculator. Here I am going to importing that package. Here I am going to importing the package, and I am importing all the classes in that package. That's why I have mentioned the asterisk symbol. Or else we can simply give the calc also. Or simply we can give the calc also, the class name also. So if you don't know the class name, you can implement, you can import all the classes. So here I am importing the package. I am importing the package calculator to this program. I am importing the calculator package in this program. That means I am importing the classes in the package to this program. So it means that you can utilize that classes. You can utilize that classes. You can utilize that package contents here also in this program also. So that is the meaning of that package. And then I am creating the main method. So this is the main method. So this is the main method, main class. So the main class consists of main method, public static void main. So here I am going to create the object of type class name. I have to give the class name. So here class name is calc. So calc is the class name in the package calculator. So I am going to create an object reference for this class calc. So then I am going to invoke the methods in that package: add, subtract, multiplication, division, modulus, all these things. We can access these things through the object obj1 of type calc. So this is how we can implement the user defined packages. So you can practice this one. So already we have explained this one in the previous classes. So next concept is, I hope you have understand this user defined packages. So if you have any doubts, let me know. So you never has any doubts. Very good students. So next concept is, till now we have seen the what is the meaning of the package and how do you import that package and how the namespace will be, and then we have seen the types of the packages, user defined packages as well as the predefined packages. So predefined or user defined packages can be imported by using the keyword import. You can create the packages by using the keyword package. So you have to follow some rules in creation of the package. So that we have seen. So we got the problem in access specifiers. So yesterday's program also we have not mentioned anything. So while creating the packages, we have to take care of these access specifiers. So whether I have to give the public or private or protected. So that we will discuss today's session, and then before that we can have the small discussion on path and class path. So next 10.4. So next concept is path and class path. So while installing the Java packages, Java JDK tool, while starting of the classes, I have said that we have to create the environment variables path and class path. So we have to create the two environment variables. We have to create the two environment variables, path and class path. So path means we have to give the bin folder. We have to give the bin folder path. We have to give the bin folder path. So bin folder is available at the program files under the program C drive, under the C drive program files. In the program files, we have the Java folder. In the Java folder, we have so many versions of Java. In that Java 16, in that we have 5 folders: bin, li, library, lang, like that. We have so many folders. In that we have to we have to create the path as bin folder path. So we have to give the bin folder path. Bin means binary files. So for executing the any Java file, we need some binary files. So that binary files are available at the bin folder. So bin means binary, first 3 letters of the binary, bin. So we have to give the bin folder. So class path means we have to give the library folder, lib folder. So we have to give the lib folder. So this path and class path can be given in the environment variables. Environment variables. We have seen the how to set the paths and class paths in the starting of the Java classes. So if you have any doubts in that, you can refer those videos also. So let us check the path here. Let us have this diagram. So C drive, C colon double slash. In the C drive, we have the program files. Under this, we have the Java versions, Java folder. In that, we have so many versions of Java. So if you want to use the Java 1, and that means Java 5 or Java 7, you can have anything. So in this Java folder, we have bin, JRE, lib, include, others. Like that, we have so many subfolders. So this bin folder path is given for path variable. This lib folder is given for class path. Lib folder is given for lib, that means library, first 3 letters of library. That can be given as class path. Path and class path are the environment variables. So let us check this one. Let us check the manually also. So let us go to the C drive, this PC. So where the Java container, Java folder exists in our laptop. So C drive, click on the C drive. So in the C drive, check the program folders, click on the program folders. So in this we have the Java. In this we have the Java. So this is the Java. So I have so many versions of Java 1.8, 221, 1.8, 192, and then I have the latest version JDK 16, 16.0.1. So this is latest version. So available Java versions can be installed. Java files can be placed here in the Java folder. Now I am using the latest version, Java 16, JDK 16. So click on that. So we have so many subfolders: bin, configuration, include, jmods, legal, lib, library. Like that, we have so many folders. So click on the bin. We have so many binary files available. .dll with .dll extension. So many DLL files are available here. So many binary files. So here, click on the path here. So this is the path. C:/program file / Java / JDK 16.0.1 / bin. So this is the path. This is the path for bin. So you have to copy this one and we have to paste in the, you have to copy this and then my computer, this PC. So click on this PC, right click on this one, properties, click on properties. Click on properties. Here we have advanced system setting. Right side, Windows 10. This is the procedure. Advanced system setting. So in the advanced system setting, we have environment variables. So in this environment variables, I have created the path as this one. C:/program file / Java / JDK 16 / bin. So this is my path. I have created a path. Click on new. Here environment variable name, variable value. Variable name is path. Either capital letters or small letters or mixed letters can be accepted. Variable value is a path, that copied one. That means C:/program files, and then click on OK. Click on OK. Then your path is set. That means you can run the programs from any file without that. For every time, if you want to execute any Java file, means you have to give the path for this. We have to give the path for this. For every program, we have to give the path. So in order to overcome that, we will give the path as environment variable. That means the OS can take care of all these things. Just we will run any program without that path. So that is the advantages of path and class path. We can give the class path also. So check this one. So this is the path: program files, Java space, JDK and bin. So this can be, this is the path. This can be done in Windows operating system in environment variables. Right click on my computer, click on properties. Like that we can access, or you can give the command line itself. That means here itself we can give command line itself. That means here you can give the path here itself. So the syntax is the syntax is this one: set path is equal to percentage path semicolon, and then we have to paste the path here. So this is the syntax to add the path in the command prompt itself. So like that we can have the class path also. Class path also. You can copy the lib folder. We can copy the library folder. So this is all about the paths. So check here. So we can set the path in the command line itself. Set path is equal to percentage path C:. So he has given the screenshots for that, setting the path values. So check this point here. So it is possible to run JDK without setting the path variables. Without setting the path variables also we can run the JDK. However, the path variable must be set in order to run the executable files. So if you want to use the Java C, that means compilation, Java, running of the Java program or Java doc. So creation of document file for Java. So if you use any of these things, we need to give the path variable from any directory without typing the full path. So this is the advantages of path and class path. So if different operating system has different ways to set the path. For Solaris and Linux, you can follow this one. If you use the bash commands and then C shell, so based upon the shells you have used in, you can have the different syntax for different ways. If you use the C shell means you will follow the syntax. If you use the bash or sh system, we can use this syntax. So that is not necessary for us. We will use only Windows. So next one, access control. So this is the very important. So already we know the concept of public, private, protected. So let us revisit that one. So in the packages also, it's very necessary to have the access control mechanisms. So the key point here is already we have mentioned this one. The same name can be used for two classes in different packages. So different packages can have the same name, but in the same package, the names of the classes must be unique. That means within the package, the class names are unique. In between the packages, the class names have same name. So within that package, we cannot have the another class with the same name. But in the different package, it can be accepted. So let us check this one, access specifiers. First one, no access specifier. That means the default case. If you don't keep either public or protected or private, then what happens? For example, class here. We don't have a public or private or protected here. So before the class, I am not using anything. That means default case. That means access permitted is accessible to the classes in the same package. That means it is accessible to the classes in the same package. Suppose if you give the public means public class B, that means accessible to the all the classes in all the packages. So any package can access the contents of the public class. Then protected and private. So protected and private can be used in, most probably can be used in the nested classes. Nested classes. So let us check this one. Public class A. So this is the class A. So within this class, I have the class C. So this is protected one. Declared as protected class C. So let us check what happens. So if you use the protected in the nested class, use it with the nested classes, members of the outer class can access the protected class because it is the member of the class. So if you declared any class as private means the members of the outer class. That means outer class is A, inner class is C. So the C class is declared as protected. That means it means that the members of the outer class. So A can access the class C. A can access the class C. So that is the meaning of the protected. Then private. So if you declared any class as private means public class A. So this class A is nested with class C. The class A consists of class C. So class C is declared as private. It means that members of host class can access the private class because it is a member of class. So if you declare the public means only class C can access these things. Only class C can access these things. And members of the outer class can access the private class. That means A can also access the class C. So already we have seen these concepts, public, private, protected. So same can be applied to the classes and methods. So let us take this in a other way. Check this one. Same here. This table also refers to the same thing. No access specifier. If you declare public, if you declare protected, if you declare private. What happens when you declare a class as private? When you declare a class as public, what happens? So let us check this one. How the accessing can be done. If the no access specifier is provided, it means that access permitted to any other class belonging to the same package. If you don't declare anything means it can be accessible to the to that package to that package. So so this is very clear. Next, public. So access permitted to any class in any package. So the this is okay. Next, protected. So protected means access permitted to its subclasses. Access permitted to its subclasses in the any package and also to any class in the same package. So this is the access can be given to the contents of that package, and then the access can given to the any package, but the condition is it must be a subclass. It must be a subclass of the declared one, protected class A. That means the class A has some subclasses. So the subclasses are present in the another package. So that can be accessible in when you declare the thing as protected. So protected means the access is given to that package and the different package also, other package also. So in the other package, the condition is that the class must be a subclass. So this is protected. Next, private. Private means access permitted to the members of this members of the same class only. That means no access permitted to any code outside that class. Private means the content may be the members may be accessed within that class only. So without that, that means outside of that block, no one can access the contents. So that is the meaning of the private. So private means only that block. Protected means within that package, and it can have the other packages also. So other packages content must be a subclass of that one. Public means any package. Protected, that no access specifier means within that package, within that declared package. So that is the difference between these access specifiers. Then, so this can be illustrated with this figure. So already we have seen this in the classes. While discussing the classes also, we have seen this one. So same thing, but different perspective, whether access permitted or not. So if you declared as no specifier, that means default case, public, protected, private. What happens when you declare in all these three cases? So first one, here we are answering the questions with respect to the classes. In the previous explanation, with respect to the access specifier. So let us check with respect to the classes. So members of the same class. So members of the same class. So members of the same class can be accessed when you declare this as default, public, protected, private. In all cases, the members of the class can access the members. So that is okay. Next, subclass in the same package. Subclass in the same package. So a package consists of so many subclasses. So subclass in the same package. So this can be accessed when you declare as a default, public, protected, but private cannot be there. That means if you declare a class as private means only that class can access that members. So no other subclass can access those members. So that is private. So in all other cases, it can be accepted. So any other class in same package, any other class in the same package. So this can be done when you declare a default case, public or protected. In all three cases, the any other class in the same package can access the contents. Next, subclass in the different package. Subclass in the different package means protected. Subclass in the different package means protected can be done. Public also anyway, public all SS. S. And then no specifier means different package cannot access. So if you go for the different package, then if you leave the content as default means that cannot be accessed. So yesterday, the problem is this one. So we have created the one package. That package content we are importing to other package. That means we are going to another package. That means different package, different package, different package contents cannot be accessed. That's why we have to give the public or protected. Protected means if you have that is the subclass, then we have to give the protected. So most of the cases we will declare the package members as public. Any other class in any package, only public. If you declare the public, then only all things happen. So this is all about the access specifiers. So simply public means anyone can access. Private means only one. Private means only one can access. Public, private, protected. Protected means someone can access. So that someone is nothing but a within that package and within the package and other package members also. Other package members whenever it is a subclass. Then default case means don't declare anything means the default case means anyone, only one, someone. So we can treat this as only that package can access these contents. So simply we can differ all these things like this. Public means anyone can access. Private means only one can access. Protected means someone can access. That someone is nothing but a package and other packages also. Default means only that package. Only that package can access. So this is all about the access specifiers. So whenever you declared any package, then it is very clear that we have to declare that members of the package as public. That means this is one package. We are creating the other package. We are importing that package to another package content. So if you write the program means by default that can be treated as one package. That can be treated as one package. That means if you want to use that contents means that must be public. Then only that can be accessed. If you declare that as protected means that is not a subclass, so we cannot access. If you declare private means no way we can access that one. Different packages. Whenever you declare a public only, then only we can access the contents of the packages. So whenever you create your own packages, so you should mention the members of the class as public. So most of the predefined packages also, the contents of the packages are by default, they can mention as public only. Most of the predefined packages also, they mention the classes as public. That means other packages can also access those contents. So this is all about the access specifiers in packages. So next concept is packages in Java SE8. Java software edition 8. So packages in Java 8. So we have so many packages in Java 8. The mostly used packages are util package, and language package. So these two packages can be widely used by the Java developers and then Java programmers also. So these most of the day-to-day useful classes are available in the either of these two packages. So we will study these two packages in the coming sessions. So rest of the chapter consists of these things only. First, we will check the language package. We'll check the language package. So what are the classes available in the language package? What are the packages? What are the interfaces available in the language package? And then what are the methods available in this language package? So that we will see one by one. So that is the language package. After that we will see the util package also. After that we will check the util package also. So let us start the language package. So this is very useful package, lang. So this can be represented as a language. It is a sub package of Java. It is a sub package of Java. That means we can import this package as import java.lang.ast. We can import this package as like this: import java.language.lang.ast. That means this is the namespace for this. That means lang is a sub package. Lang is a sub package of Java package. Java is a main package here. So all the available packages are sub packages of Java package. Java is a main package. All other things are sub packages. So here lang is a sub package. So we can import the classes by using the asterisk also. Asterisk means all the packages can be imported into our program. So if you know the class required class means we can give the class name also. So this is the basic things in this. So we can continue this in next class. This language package. So this is all about the packages. So do you have any doubts in this? Do you have any doubts in these packages? So till now we discussed about the packages and package importing, and then user defined packages, and then access specifiers. And then from tomorrow's onwards, we will check the each and every package, every predefined package available in Java. Mostly 90% of the packages we will use is either language package, lang, or either util package. So by default, if you declare, if you import the language package or if you import the util package, by default, they will automatically import it to our program. So if you don't, you no need to write the import statement. That means import java.lang.ast. So for every program, we are not writing that one. That means by default, the util package and language packages are automatically imported to our program. So we can directly access those methods. So the latest versions of Java has this feature. So in previous versions, we don't have that feature. So if you want to use anything means you have to import the package, import java.io.star asterisk. So nowadays, no one is using the java.io.star. So while I am studying, I have used that package java.io.star. Then import java.util.star. Then import java.lang.ast. Like that, if you want to write any Java program, so we will start writing with the import statement. So in nowadays, we are not using that convention. So by default, util package and language packages are automatically imported to our program. So while compiling, those two packages are imported to our program. So that is the advantages of latest versions of Java. So any doubts regarding this? Any doubts in creation of your own package? ఏవైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా? ఆల్రెడీ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ అన్నీ కూడా ఎడ్మిడో గ్రూప్లో పెట్టాను, మీకు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఉంటాయి. లేదా సొంతగా అయినా చిన్న ఈ ప్యాకేజ్ క్రియేట్ చేయడానికి సొంతగా ట్రై చేయండి. ఇది ఎడ్మిడో గ్రూప్లో పెట్టాను, మీకు కావాలంటే ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. సో ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ. సో